What's more important, protecting the environment even if it curbs economic growth, or keeping economic growth going and sustained even if that harms the environment to some degree? Well, that's a question we've been asking Americans since the early 1980s, and the responses have gone up and down over time, but generally speaking, until recently, it's been a net positive for the environment. In other words, Americans have been more likely to say it's more important to protect the environment even if it slows economic growth than vice versa, to say the economy is more important than the environment. But we've seen some changes more recently. Now look at this long-term graph here, graphed in terms of net plus for the environment. Now it dropped some when we had an economic problems in the early years of the Clinton administration, the early 1990s, then it went back up, and then it dropped significantly again when we had economic issues after the dot-com boom. Then it crawled back up some in the mid-2000s, but boy, when the recession hit, it really dropped through the basement, and we really haven't seen much recovery since. Right now, the data show that Americans favor the economy over the environment, 48-43. That's a net 5 for the economy, or a -5 for the environment. Let me just repeat those numbers. Americans tilt slightly towards saying it's more important to have economic growth, even if it harms the environment to some extent, than to protect the environment. Certainly are some big differences by party on this. Among Republicans, economic growth is paramount. As you can see there, it's a +41 for the economy over the environment. But look at Democrats. It's essentially a flip, where we've got the environment favored over the economy by 20 points among Democrats. So this is another example of how Republicans and Democrats in our highly polarized environment in the U.S. today differ on an issue of substance. I think the key takeaway from all of this, however, is that we've not yet seen a recovery on the part of the environment. We are still now, even though we're seeing signs of economic growth, having a situation in which the average American tilts towards saying economic growth is more important than the environment, even if that means that the environment is harmed to some extent. I'm Dr. Frank Newport, Gallup Editor-in-Chief.